Happy
My
Friday,
bra.
Mo. What'd you say?
Wait,
You
start
need
again. I'm fixing my bra.
I thought you
Okay.
said, "I need a new bra." I was like, "Oh,
I
kick
do,
that
I
in."
do. You said happy Friday as soon as I'm like, I need a new bra.
Oh my
I'm not
gosh.
putting that in. Maybe we'll get views.
Maybe.
Okay.
Mo stuffs what? Oh my gosh.
No stuffing.
I would like to de-stuff, to be honest.
You're listening to the Flippin' Fantastic Podcast.
If you're watching this and you aren't subscribed, go hit that button right now and watch this.
Let's be real, we're the #1 reselling podcast.
Wow.
Happy Friday, Mo. How are you? How is
No.
your week been? I feel like it's been forever since we did a podcast, and it's only been like literally 7 days. But
It's only been a week.
it does. It seems like a long time though. Or maybe I've just been so busy that I guess that's what you're supposed to be like, if life's busy, it's just supposed to seem like long stretches of time between things, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Or
guess.
maybe I just blocked out the Mike episode that Death Pile Picker was on, and it just seems like 2 weeks now. I have trauma from Mike being on. I'm just teasing.
Trauma.
But I wanna thank
PTSD.
Yes, exactly. I wanna thank Mike, Death Pile Picker, for coming on. If you didn't see that episode,
Yes.
check it out. It was last
Yeah.
week's episode. He has a potty mouth, and there's a
He was on his best
disclaimer.
behavior. He was
He
on his best behavior with us.
No, he wasn't. Guys, we have, or at least on that episode, we have closed captions. Closed captions even said he was naughty. And like you get the little, what are those, asterisks or whatever instead of the words.
Right. When I was editing, I used the closed captions. I mean, I didn't put them. I just let YouTube. If you want closed captions, use YouTube, but I use them
Mhm.
for editing and it just asterisks out his words.
Yes. So,
Well, and then sometimes it doesn't know what he's saying.
oh
So
my gosh. Yes, true.
there was some
True.
made up phonetics in there.
But that was a fun episode. So go check it out if you haven't already. And give Mike a follow, and you know, because
Yeah.
he's got a pathetic little tiny channel. He needs our help. We have 6 viewers, so thank you all 6 of you who watched it, and we appreciate it.
Go add to his 3. No, I don't know.
Mike has more than us, that's for sure. And his podcast. His
Mhm.
podcast does so well too. His what is it? Or reseller leftover podcast? Yeah.
Yep.
They do really well over there. That's because it's a train wreck. Not a train wreck as far as the podcast, but his mouth is a train wreck. You just don't know what's going to happen, and everyone's just like tuning in for the shenanigans. Exactly. Oh my gosh, Mo, I forgot to tell you that before we started recording that episode, those glasses? I sent Mo a pair of glasses that are hands, and they look
Yeah.
like this. They're literally glasses with hands. We should have been wearing those. We should have put those on every time Mike
Oh, we
started
should've.
to gone off the rails, but I forgot. I even wrote it in my notes to tell
You
you
wrote
to
it.
wear them. Yes. Yes, those are the best. So if you're just listening, it's just fingers across your eyes, and it's
So
kind of like
you're
blocking out
peeking
the
out.
haters. Yeah, and you're peeking out. So they're the best. And I'm excited. I'm excited for today, Mo,
Mhm.
because we have lots of little things to talk about. I feel like I've got a little list of all this shenanigans that have been going on. And yeah. What about you? How was your week? Have you been sourcing and stuff?
I did not go out this weekend.
Mhm.
There was like 2 estate sales and there was 1 garage sale, but I know where I saw when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, they're resellers."
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah.
it's not like, "Hey, here's $1." They price
Yeah.
things up. And I mean, not that you couldn't make money. They don't price them like eBay prices,
Mhm.
but it's their leftovers, and I don't really need, you know.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Bring
go
up
ahead.
something from last week.
Yeah.
Okay, remember you sent those pictures in our little chat conversation, and it was this
Mhm.
house that had like tons of like old school playhouse
Yeah.
stuff. What did you go to
Yeah.
that sale?
That was the weekend before. Yes, I did. I
Oh.
went on the first day. So this is really interesting. I went the first day. Now, this estate sale company, let me tell you, has had several sales similar to this. This was the one that had the most ridiculous amount of the same thing. like
Like,
an entire room of Christmas, an entire room of those toys. Let me tell you. So they had like a porch, like a screened in, like a sunroom, I should say.
uh-huh.
And they had put shelves up like the estate company shelves. They weren't. And they had just like half a dozen of each of the play school houses, or not play school, Fisher Price, the
Yeah.
old school ones. The houses, the garage, the airport, the
Mhm.
schoolhouse, you know.
Yeah.
And this was just from the pictures. They had like 6, and I don't know if anyone out there is familiar with it besides me. You know who would know? But I know she doesn't watch, is Rebel, full
Oh,
reseller.
okay.
This is the original. So, like, I want to say like the 1960s, 50s, 60s Fisher Price circuits. It's like one big, like, it wasn't a train, it was just a caged like cart. And
Uh-huh.
then the animals, they were wooden, and they
Oh,
were, because if you're familiar with Fisher Price, you know the one from like the 70s, 80s where they're plastic animals and it's a whole train. This is
okay.
just like a cart and circus, and the animals, like there's a ladder and the monkey can hang from the ladder, and it's a whole
Mhm.
thing. Because my grandparents had it. It was like my uncles or my aunts.
Uh-huh.
I have like an uncle and an aunt that are like 10 and 12 years older than me.
Uh-huh.
They had it. We used to play with it when we would go over there. They had like 6 of those. I mean, it was really weird, and this wasn't a big house. It was a smaller house. It was
Mhm.
two-story, but it was smallish, older
Yeah.
house. Nothing in this house was updated. So this house was probably built in the late 50s, early 60s. That's what the inside looked like. Paneling still, the original kitchen cabinets from like the
Uh-huh.
early 60s. It was ridiculous. An entire room of Christmas, and then another entire room with like a giant wall of Anna Lee,
Oh,
all Anna
okay.
Lee.
In the pictures that you had showed, I thought it was a store. It
Right.
looked like a store because everything
Yeah.
was like very organized and it looked brand
Yes.
new to me.
Hmm.
Was it brand new stuff? Or like a
Not
new
all
old
of it.
stock? Oh.
No, it wasn't all of it. They had some things that looked less played with, but it wasn't all
Uh-huh.
brand new. It
Huh.
wasn't. But like the houses, and well, I got there, I went like the last hour.
Mm.
I was not getting up and going and fighting through that. I
Yeah.
went to their last sale, which was like maybe 2 or 3 weeks before that, where they had all the vintage Star Wars, and I got there early and I got a number and I was like 44th in line, and it was an even smaller house, and they let everybody in.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
what's like,
Number.
but when you're
Uh-huh.
at that small of a place, like at at a point you should maybe you got to wait and then until somebody comes out.
Yeah.
And when I went and I did buy something at that one, and I waited the line was wrapped around the house, like, because these are old houses. There's no open floor plans, you know?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's all compartmentalized rooms. So
Yeah.
these people were snaked from one room to the other where the checkout was. That was the one from like 2 or 3 weeks ago. This
Mhm.
one, so I went in the last hour, still a lot of people there. It was ridiculous. Their prices are pretty high. eBay, if just a little less.
Yeah.
And so I don't look for that kind of stuff when I do go to theirs, I look at the other stuff that's
Yeah.
not priced up. Well, anyway, so then after that one, I went to one
Did
of
you
my
buy any
favorite
Fisher
estates.
did you buy anything from the Fisher Price
I
one?
didn't not buy anything there. They didn't really. It wasn't. It was all. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And it was their craziest one yet. It's like they keep getting more and more ridiculous. Like, where are you getting all this stuff? So then I go to
Wow.
this other one. This is like one of he's like my top 2, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And I always talk to him, and he always like, oh, he always says stuff to me like, you got a good eye, where was this? I didn't know, he always says
Yeah.
stuff like that. But
Uh-huh.
his
Yeah.
prices are great. If you go
Mhm.
on the first day, last day, he bundles no matter what.
The
I mean, you are
best.
gonna pay more on the first day than the last day, but you're there on the
Mhm.
first day.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this other guy's there, and this I didn't buy anything at his sale either. It was a newer house, and it was like really high end like art stuff that they were selling.
Uh-huh.
So it wasn't for me. But I looked around, it was cool. There was another guy there And he was talking about, he's like, I saw one for this estate, I don't know where it is. And I overheard him and I said, oh, it's, in this neighborhood. I said, I just came from there. And he was like, you did? He was like, was it, like that? And I was like, yeah. I go, it's ridiculous. And the guy that runs the estate sale, he said, I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something weird. Like he doesn't think it's from the houses. He goes, they have too many, 'cause this is a guy who's been doing it a long time, right?
Yeah.
He's like, a house like that is like 1 in a million. You know what I mean? 1 in a million. He goes,
Mhm.
but they keep having these estate sales where they have all this stuff like that.
Right.
Like the last time it was vintage Star Wars, entire room
Mhm.
full of vintage Star Wars. So he thinks that they are doing something else, like buying out other things and bringing it into a house. I don't
Uh-huh.
know, but he's like, there's no way. He's like, there's no way. He's like, I've been doing this a long time. I don't find
Yeah.
houses like that. You don't find houses like that. So
Mhm.
anyway,
Wow.
that was his take on it. He thinks that this oh, and he said that estate sale in the last year has come up out of nowhere. He's like,
Uh,
nobody knows where they come from because I guess the estate sale people all know each other. He's like, nobody
right.
knows where they come from. And he goes, that's not a normal estate sale. He goes, they don't have
Uh-huh.
normal estate sales. What's going on? I said, I don't know. I go, it was nuts. He goes, and everything's priced up, isn't it? And I go, yep. So anyway, that was my experience with that.
Wow. Wow.
I
Huh.
did take video of it, so in the next few weeks, keep an eye out. I might be posting video again.
Ooh,
I'm
I
not
can't
gonna
wait to
say
see
for
that.
100% sure.
Just to see the
I won't make any promises, but I might be.
I mean, even if you just did a raw, like, of just a raw uncut, like 1970s toy store closeout.
Yeah.
I don't know, something silly. But
Oh,
it was.
I can do it. I just,
Mhm.
I just gotta wait another week while all my views from last year drop off.
No, so you have to start fresh.
I want to start fresh.
That's okay. That's
I
okay.
like a fresh start, Amy.
New year, new mo.
Anyway, so that was my
Yeah.
tangent, but yes, it was ridiculous. And has
Mhm.
anybody else run into something like that? Like where somebody's like stuffing an estate sale? Like they have to be.
Stuffing
I've
an
never
estate
been.
sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
mean, I
it.
don't know what else to call it, but
Yeah,
it's
no, that's a good way to put it. I have been to I've been to one company that I know that I don't know if they're doing that, but they also I don't know what it is they're doing. They have an estate sale, but then it's always the same ladies who come in with their jewelry. They always sell jewelry at them. And I know
Mhm.
it's not from that place. At least I don't think it is because it's got
Right.
individual price tags on it that aren't the price tags that are on the estate sale stuff.
Right.
So
So they
I
have
feel
like
like it's their
ladies come in too?
yeah, that's what I feel like. That's just the vibe I get, which
Hmm.
at least it's not like trying to be hidden because at least I don't feel like it's hidden because the price tags are different. It
Right.
almost reminds me of like a little mini flea market or something, like, oh,
Yeah,
you
that's
bring in your
funny.
little maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're consigning out like, oh, $25 a day for our booth inside our estate
Right.
sale. Oh,
Yeah. Well,
interesting.
that's the thing about this one is I was telling because I had showed the pictures to my mom and my sister. I was like, look at all the Fisher Price because we actually have most of that. My mom
Yeah.
kept all that stuff because the grandkids played with it and stuff. And I was telling her what the other estate sale guy said. And she's like, well,
Mhm.
how are they, if it's from different places, how are they keeping track? She said, are there different price? I said, no, the price tags are just their stickers that they put on. Everything's the same.
Mm.
There was
Yeah.
no color or there was no way I could discern what came from what. And
Yeah.
some things aren't marked. Like they didn't have everything completely marked.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
sometimes there's stuff in a box and they're like $1 each, that kind of thing. So I said, there's no way that I said, if I said, do they have some deal? Is somebody a real estate agent in this family and they're
Oh,
using the
and they're just
houses and they have a
using the
deal with the
house.
people? Like, hey, we'll give you this much money if you let us stage
Estate sale in your
and they're
house?
doing buyouts somewhere else. I don't know.
Maybe. I think that you should talk to that estate sale guy, Mo, and ask him if he'll be a guest on the podcast. That would be cool, you know?
I know.
It's Is he laid back like that? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. But then I have to talk to people outside, like ask people to
Oh,
ease my anxiety.
oh no. That would be cool though to have an estate sale person come
I
on.
know. Well,
That
if
would that would just be
we'll
get like the gossipy
might take me a
estate
few
sale
years to
stuff.
work
Oh
on
my
it.
gosh. Because I want to know like the gossipy side of estate sale stuff, like, what they think other people are doing like that, are, that they
Yeah,
find
I
kind of
mean,
like shady or
that's the only
whatever.
thing he could think of is that they're
Hmm.
using like a house. I mean, I thought of that too. I was like, do you think they're like using the house and like bringing
Hmm.
other stuff in? I go, not only was it weird the amount of stuff, like I get like you go to estate sales and people have collections
Yeah.
or you just know it was their stuff. This
Yeah.
wasn't all from some one person.
Yeah.
Do you know? Like you go to an estate sale and like, there's tons of old china. Well, it was some old lady and she liked her china. Or you go
Hmm.
and they had tons of Christmas. Well, they loved Christmas. I went to one the one time and there was wreaths everywhere. She made a
Yeah.
wreath for every day of the year. Like it
Oh my
was,
gosh. Yeah.
you can kind of tell. Whereas like some of these other ones, it's funny you said though about the ladies with the jewelry. There's this estate sale. They usually do like more upscale places.
Hmm.
I don't know, richy rich places
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
They don't take the hoarder houses. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
They're not. Their prices aren't bad, and I go to them, but they're few and far between. But they had the last one I went to. They had everything, and they had one section down, in like the one room where they set up for paying, and then they had off to the side. They had these other tables and display shelves, and
Hmm.
everything on there you had to pay over there because that was consignment. And I don't know if it was just stuff they had like from somebody else and they were just like, we'll put
Uh-huh.
it out here, or if it
Yeah.
was from that homeowner and they were just trying to get a little bit more for it because it was like higher end stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it was
Yeah, I
some
can see
art
that.
and some like glass. I forget what
Hmm.
it was. Some higher end jewelry, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess that
But
way
it wasn't
too.
like they brought a whole like shop of 1970s toys in.
Yeah. I can see a homeowner wanting like I want like a more itemized calculation of jewelry and stuff
Right.
that's sold. That way
Mhm.
you know that it didn't get stolen or, lifted or something like that, you know?
Right, right. Or if
Yeah.
it's like it's like I said, they tend to do a little more high-end clientele, like, people that have like a little more higher end stuff.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know how to say it.
Mhm.
So I don't
Yeah.
know. Like I said, I don't know if it was actually the homeowner stuff or if they said, "Hey, we have a couple other things. Can we, maybe they might got a deal. We're going to sell a few other things there. We'll give you an extra 100 for you letting us in."
Yeah.
Who knows? Who
Yeah,
knows?
who knows?
Nothing like that. Well, that I can understand. The other thing I don't get,
Mhm.
that was the other thing. There was nowhere like that stuff would have had to been in storage somewhere because this house, even with the basement, there was nowhere for all this stuff. That's how much stuff
Yeah.
it was, and
Wow.
not be a hoarder house just filled to the brim, you
Wow.
know. And
Yeah,
then
that's a
usually hoarder stuff isn't as nice as this stuff was. Yeah.
true. True. Yeah, gosh, what I don't know what I did last week. Well, I do know I'm editing that video right
You
now,
went.
but
Oh, did you have yard sales, garage sales? Excuse me. I
I
was gonna
did.
sneeze.
I did. This weekend we went to yard sales. There was a community yard sale. Oh, the weather was like rainy. Well, it was
Yeah.
nice. It was like overcast in the morning, but then it started raining like 11. But it was like one of those rains where it wasn't raining. It was like misting raining, kind of just enough
Yeah.
to shut down the yard sale.
Mhm.
But we went to North Carolina. We went to community yard sale in North Carolina. I
Ooh,
mean, which
how
isn't
far
really
away?
far. I would say it's probably well, the community yard sale was probably like I think it was like 36 minutes away, but it was like pretty much right over. It was probably like 10 minutes over the border of North Carolina.
Right.
So we didn't even have to go far because we live
Yeah.
like 2 cities away from the border. So it's not a
Mhm.
big deal. But it was a big deal. Like, I contemplated not going because it's one of those newer builds neighborhoods. Like, it was only probably, like, 3 years old, the neighborhood. Like, they're technically still building the neighborhood, and I typically don't like going to the new builds because it's mostly baby stuff because it's new
Yep.
families. So, you're
Mhm.
not getting, like older things, you know.
Yeah.
But we went anyway, just because it was three little neighborhoods. So we went. It was I mean, it was worth going. We got some like, oh my gosh. Oh, I swear, I don't know what it was about this neighborhood. Every one that we went to, almost everyone, maybe every other one, they were selling Scentsy stuff. Like, I don't know if they
Oh,
were
wow.
all buying from the one Scentsy lady in the neighborhood, but there was
Right.
Scentsy stuff everywhere. And I like selling Scentsy stuff, but I got three things. I got like two of the plugins that you plug in the wall, like the wall plugs,
Hmm.
and then
Yeah.
one's like a warmer, like a table warmer.
Yeah.
But I would have bought them all, but they were priced just like a little too high. Maybe
Hmm.
if I had like a lot of space, I would have bought them all because I could have still doubled my money. But I don't
Yeah.
really want to just
Hmm.
double my money, you know? So I got a couple of those. I got some cool pants, which I love finding cool pants,
Yeah.
like cool hiking pants.
Yeah. And that's KU. Is it KUHL? How you spell that?
KUHL. Yep. We went to this yard sale and the lady was like chit-chatting and I saw them sitting on the table and I was like, I didn't look at them, I just saw them and I was like, "Oh, how much are clothes?" She's like, "Oh, it just depends on what it is." And I was like, "Okay, what about the sweatshirts?" Because they were grunt style sweatshirts, which I can do pretty good with grunt style. And she was like, "Oh, like $5." And then like I was like, "Oh, what about the pants on the table?" Like not even looking at them or anything. And she's like,
Hmm.
"Oh, those are cool pants. Do you know about cool pants?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." And she's like, "Well, they're $100 pants." And I just instantly thought, "Oh, I'm not getting them," you know, because
Yeah.
that's just
Uh-huh.
typically I'm gonna ask you for 50.
Right.
And she said, I probably need like 5 or 10 a piece. And I was like, "I'll do 5." If you give me an option between 5 and 10, of course I'm gonna say 5, you know?
Right. Well, don't I know people shouldn't people don't think when they do that. They say,
Mhm.
"Oh, 10," you know.
Exactly. So I said, "I'll
Yeah.
buy all 3 of them if they're, $5 a piece." And she's like, "Okay, sold." I was like, "Sweet." Which shocked
Nice.
me that she was gonna say that because for her to say they're $100 pants, which they are, they really are. I think they're even above 100 because of
Right.
the style that I got. So I was stoked
Mhm.
on that. And I got some other stuff before it rained or started raining, but,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, here's one of them. Oh, it's right here. I'm doing this right now. It's these, what are they called? What is it? I can't see it exactly.
Ravensburger.
Ravensburger puzzles. And they were
Mhm.
all Disney.
Um,
I know. I only got them because they were 1,000 pieces and the others were 2,000 pieces and they're all Disney. So
yeah.
I don't think they're worth selling on. I paid $2 a piece, which is pretty good. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna do them and lot them up on like Facebook Marketplace and do them
Okay.
for like,
Yeah.
I don't know, 50, 60. I don't know. I have to comp them out to see like what it's worth. But
Right.
that's what I'm gonna do with them. Cause I don't think they're so heavy, like puzzles are so heavy when
Right.
all the pieces are in it, that would be like
Mhm.
3 pounds, like a 3 pound box. Nobody would buy it except if they lived in like Maryland or Pennsylvania
Right.
or something with low
Mhm.
shipping. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and I did go at another place, but I'll talk about that later when we do our new little segment.
Ever wonder what happens when the filter comes off? That's why we created Dash of Sass. It's your one-way ticket to everything and anything, served with a side of sarcasm and a sprinkle of sass. Listen every Wednesday wherever you get your podcast. I promise you'll thank us later.
So, how have your sales been on eBay?
They stink, but
No, we're being positive. You're selling, right? We're
I
selling.
didn't list all weekend because I had some family from out of town, so
Mhm.
I was busy. I told you I didn't go to any sales this weekend because there wasn't
Mhm.
any good ones.
Yeah.
But there were I mean, I sold a couple things in the like the last day.
Oh, okay.
I have 2 things I have to send out today. That's what I pulled up.
Oh, okay.
I now the amount of mugs keeps showing. You'd think that's all I buy. I haven't listed a mug in like a year. I swear. I swear.
Huh?
But my mugs are selling, so
That's
I'm fine with
great.
it. And my mugs are 50 cents or less. I don't buy I mean,
Like a good one.
unless it's like an art pottery piece, I
Mhm.
don't, you know.
Yeah.
And our Goodwills around here used to they were 40, they used to be 49 cents. They're like $1 now.
This one's a
A
what is that?
panda
Panda?
eating bamboo. It's like a 1980s mug, you know? The
Okay.
pandas were big back in the 80s.
Yes.
And so that, and then I sold this plate last night. It's really pretty. I have
Yeah.
2 of them that I think I got for a couple dollars. So they're really pretty.
And it's
Um,
a Bavaria plate with roses and geometric designs on it.
yeah,
Oh, I see it
ZS and
now.
Company Bavaria plate. Like that's what's on the back.
Okay.
So
And
I
it's
took it
going
off her for
international, right?
21.
It looks like it by that buyer name, like long shipping. I don't know. Maybe not.
Oh,
Maybe they're buying it on behalf of.
$15. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't
Yeah.
look. They just they sent me an offer last night and I accepted and I went to bed and I haven't shipped it yet. I gotta ship it when I
Yeah.
get off. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, stuff's still moving. This one's how long's that one been up? I don't know.
You can
What was
tell?
that? Yeah, since September. So
Oh. How do you know that by that 2409?
because that's the year and that's the month that I
Oh, I
listed it.
see. Okay, okay. The year, the month. Okay. I
Yeah.
was thinking like the day or something. I don't know. I'm just a baby. Leave me alone.
I'm trying to think where I got these. I think I got them at a thrift shop that was going out of business.
Mhm.
I think because I have another one that's similar. It's the same company. It's similar kind of colors, but different.
Yeah.
Similar but different.
Yeah.
And I think I literally only paid $1 or something for them. They're really pretty. I was like, these are so pretty. I had to save
Mhm.
them.
Very
And
nice.
all right, we ready for yours?
I guess. I don't remember. This is always new to me too. I just
She
sold
puts
this.
them up like the day before. She doesn't remember. This is cool.
It is. It is a vintage leather tripod. It's like a saddle seat, but it's got like Aztec Indian motif on the top. And the leather comes off, like slides off and it like folds up. It reminds me of like a
Right.
camping chair. Yeah, I got this at one of the like the Goodwill auction totes. So I don't have
Oh, cool.
I think I had like $2 and like allotted to that. So
Right.
yeah, and that's
That's
all for
awesome.
57 a 49
$49. I
plus
know.
shipping.
That's sweet.
It's going to Las
This reminds
Vegas.
me of I was watching like a TikTok in the last couple weeks and somebody was like, "Should I buy this?" And it was this is like a chair, like you said, like a camp chair almost,
Uh-huh.
but like in a saddly kind of style. Somebody
Yeah.
was like buying a camel saddle. I guess people use them
Oh.
for something. It was weird. It just reminds me
Oh.
of that because it was like leather and wood, you know?
A camel saddle has got to be pretty big. Like, aren't they the ones with like
Yes.
rails and stuff on the side? Like a
Yeah.
little,
I think they were
yeah.
gonna like people use it as a table now or something. I don't know. It was
Oh,
weird. It just
okay.
reminded me because of the leather and the wood.
We have sidetrack. We have a lobster cage with glass on the top for,
That you
that
use
whole
for a
like
table.
we don't use it now, but it's in our attic. We used to because
Yeah,
it's pretty cool though. It's small, but yeah, I could
that's
totally
neat.
see doing that. I could totally see doing that.
Hmm.
Yep, yep. I don't know what's it. I don't remember the next one either.
This
Oh
one,
yes,
you sold that the
the
garment
love.
bag.
Oh
You
yeah, the
had that
garment
a
bag.
couple. We didn't do it last week because Mike was here, but a couple weeks ago
Hmm.
you sold the garment bag, and now you have a
Yeah,
Hartman tag. I never like pay. You know what luggage names I know? Samsonite, and that's about it.
yeah. Well, this is definitely one to know because
I know
It's
Hartman.
it's it's just very old school looking, like, as far as, the traditional, it's like a tweed, just a just a tweed and leather, but this
Right.
was in my auction tote too. It wasn't even anything I was, like, looking for, it just happened to be at the very bottom,
Yeah.
but I think the thing that makes this one special is I think that the airline or somebody gives this to you when you hit 1,000,000 miles on
Yeah, because
that
for
airline.
if you're listening, it's got a big M on it, and
Mhm.
it says Million Miler.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool, and it's
Yeah,
pretty distressed, like, I know you can't tell too much in these pictures, but it's like, it's been, 1,000,000 miles in the sky, and it's been through,
right.
all of it. It's got scuffs and stains and stuff like that, but it's 100% leather. opens up and
Yeah,
you
but
can
it
put your
it
little
kinda
card and stuff,
it
you
gives
know?
it that character,
It
vintage
does.
character.
It does. And I originally listed it for like $100 because there was none
Mhm.
listed. And then I just slowly started dropping
Brought it
it
down.
and it
Yeah.
sold for 44.88. And I had, I think, 89 cents because I just shipped this I think over the weekend. So yeah, keep an eye out for Hartman luggage. Every piece I've sold, every piece I've picked up, I've sold. So the vintage stuff does well, as long as it's in good shape.
That's awesome.
We're gonna do our cool new finds that we're gonna be posting on eBay. Yes,
I guess.
yeah, because then we
Yeah,
could show it, and then maybe people will be like, "Oh, I really like that," and then they can go buy it from our stores, right?
maybe. Maybe.
Maybe.
Somebody buy something from me, please. No, just kidding.
Oh my gosh. So what is something cool that you've picked up lately? I thought you were gonna pull some Fisher Price stuff from that estate sale, but I didn't know you didn't buy
No, I
any.
did not
Yeah,
buy any of it.
yeah.
When I got there, I don't some of the houses, in the airports and whatever, some of them had sold. So there was a few
Mhm.
left. There were some left, but the ones that were there did not have any people in them or any accessories, which is really what you want,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm.
I don't know if the ones that sold were ones that did have like, you know, stuff
Figures
with
and
them.
things, yeah.
Right. But they
Mhm.
were overpriced for what they were.
Yeah.
I listed this one recently.
Oh,
It's a
like,
bubble glass crucifix.
it's
It's got a
so
cool background. Like it's
it
kind of
looks
like
cool.
when you move, it's kind of I don't know. It's vintage.
Wow.
It's like brass
I
domed
like it.
bubble glass. It's
It's
pretty
really
heavy.
cool.
But
I definitely would have
ones
picked
have
that up too.
sold in the 70 plus range. Yeah, I paid it was marked at 10, but I think I was there either on day 2 or day 3, so
Mhm.
I didn't pay 10, I paid less.
Wow. And you've already got
5 or something.
10 watchers on it too.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh. I was
Yeah.
hoping it would sell soon because Easter,
Oh, true.
but I
Yeah.
sell religious stuff all year long, so
Yeah. I like that. That's cool. I definitely
it's
would have picked
it's
that up too.
yeah. I
Love
mean,
it.
it was the brass is kinda tarnished around the edges, but it's in really good condition.
Mm.
It had, like I got it off a basement wall. It had, like, a nice layer of dust on the
Hey, that's okay. I would rather go to an estate sale that's kinda like, I gotta dig through stuff than everything just placed out nice and neat on shelves, you know?
Yep,
So,
me too. Me
mhm,
too. It's more
love
fun.
it.
You find
What's
stuff and
what you got
here's my
next?
other one. I just started. I didn't list it yet, but I have a new inbox wireless mouse. I thought about
Okay,
keeping it, but I'm just gonna sell it. I think it sells for like 30 bucks. I paid a couple bucks for it, so
nice. Love it. I
yep.
mean, it's super easy stuff. I love it.
Yep. If you need a wireless ergonomic trackball mouse,
Go to
go
Mo
to my
87
store.
official. Mo 87 official on eBay.
All right. And yours? It's good to see what you got. These are cool. I remember these things.
Oh, yeah, this was this was in my Goodwill auction tote. I
Yeah, that's
pulled
cool.
out they are a set of 3 vintage street sharks from the 90s. And the one that is the like hammerhead shark on the left with the like the wheels, he
Yeah.
looks so cheap. Like as far as like the detail, you know how like quality toys have a lot of details and not quality toys are kind of like
Right.
muted and like kind of like
Yeah.
morph into yeah, that's what it looked like.
Right.
I
I know.
thought it was
Uh-huh.
just some generic toy, but then I pulled out the other 2 and I was like, "Wait a minute." My mind went to, I don't know if you watch, Ready, Set Resell? Ben? He
Mm-mm.
does he did or does, I haven't watched him too much lately, like a lot of like vintage toys and stuff, and this is how I knew of the street sharks from him.
Okay.
But I was like, "I think these are street sharks." I couldn't see the
Mhm.
bottom and stuff because of I couldn't read the writing on the bottom of their feet or whatever. So I just kept them. But I was like, "Oh my god, thank God I kept them." That
How much
little
do they sell for?
well, they individually, they can sell for more, but there is damage to the little guy wearing the rollerblade, like one of his wheels is broken.
Oh,
But I
okay.
think I have them listed for like in the 60s, in the upper 60s for all 3 of them.
Oh, wow.
But I think that one that looks like a ray, like a manta ray, I
Yeah.
think that they
Man to
can
man.
sell for like 30, depending on the condition. So I
Oh,
just
wow.
lotted them up so I can just like
Yeah,
be one and done, gave someone like a good deal. So
right.
I have 7 watchers. I just listed them this week. So
Those are
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I totally forgot I sent that one. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, love it.
This is cool. What is it?
Oh,
Like
it's just
like glass windows panes?
yeah, I found this this weekend, I don't know, one of the weekends I found it. It was at a church sale. Oh, it was last weekend. It was at a church sale and we went later in the day. And as
Mm-hmm.
soon as we rolled up, I saw on the ground was cabinet doors for like your
Yeah.
kitchen cabinets. They were just
Mhm.
stacked. There was like 17 of them and I went right over to them and I was like, "Oh my gosh." And I saw the glass and I was like, "I'm getting these." And Matt's like, "All right, why do you want those? Oh my gosh, you're crazy." And I said, trust me, just trust me."
Mhm.
So whatever. I went over and negotiated with the lady and I said, "What if I get all of those glasses way over there?" And she's like, I don't know. How many is there?" And I was like, "I'm not sure. I didn't count them." She's like, "You think there's like 20?" And I was like, "I don't think there's 20. I think there's like 15." So whatever. She's like, how about $15?" And I said, "Sold. I'll take them all."
15 of these?
Yes. Well,
Oh, wow.
they were in the oak still. They were the actual doors in the oak. So,
Okay, so they're cabinet door size.
yeah, they're probably like 22 inches tall and I think 11
Mhm.
inches wide. But,
Okay.
I took the cabinet door off or the oak frame off around it,
Right. Right.
and I put them in the shower and I cleaned them really well, at least
Mhm.
2 of them. I did 2 of them. And what was I gonna say? This just tells you the quality of them. They're beveled. I know you can't tell in the picture,
I
but
I have
they're
it on a
it's
big screen here, but I can see
uh
it. I can see it
yeah.
in the middle, like because I
Mhm.
can see the leaves
Yeah.
difference.
So it's
Mhm.
frosted glass on the edges and it's stained leaded glass, and then the little tiny panes are beveled,
Yeah,
and,
I see the beveled and I see like the frosted is almost does it have it almost has like is it a leaf motif or something?
yeah, it's etched. It's
Yeah,
like little etchings of
right.
like it
Mhm.
almost looks like fern leaves or whatever.
Yes.
But I weighed them. I put these on Facebook Marketplace,
Right.
just because 'cause they're so heavy. So each
Yeah.
glass piece weighs 8 pounds. That just shows you the quality, that it's 8
That's
pounds.
awesome.
That's huge. I mean, that's like a lot of weight, I mean. So
Somebody who's redoing something, some interior designer or somebody that just like flips or something is going to buy them,
mhm.
and that's awesome.
But wait, I have a quick little story to go with it.
Yeah,
So
go.
Matt posts everything on Facebook Marketplace because he likes
Right.
that. So I took all the pictures,
Mhm.
took a video, put it on Facebook, and I did some research. I have one listed online on eBay for like $89 plus shipping, which was I don't even that would be outrageous, but I just did it anyway. And Matt was like, "Well, how much do you want me to put these on for?" And I don't know. My gut was like, they need to be high, but then part of me was like, I only pay $15 and I have 17. I have 17 of them, I think. I think that's what I
Okay.
have.
Yeah.
So I said, let's just put them on for 100 and just go from there because we have so
Mhm.
many more that we could do. So
Mhm.
Matt put them on for 100 and instantly he's got a bunch of clicks, he got a bunch of saves, he got shares and stuff like that. And then he got a
Oh, wow.
message. He got a message from somebody that said, it just said, you need to list these for more. And then Matt was like, "Oh, what should I do?" I said, "You should just write back and say, 'Oh, you think so, even with the cracks?'" Because there's like cracks in one of the panes of glass, but it's not like
Mhm.
crazy, you know what I mean? So he
Mhm.
messaged that lady back, and she lived in Florida, and she said, "Yes, because they need to be triple the price that they are. I just want you to get the most money that you can for these because glass is in such high demand, people are paying up for it, and if they will, they'll pay up for it. They don't care about cracks." And they were
Thank
like,
you, lady in Florida. I wonder if
"Yeah,
she was near you, if she would have bought them. Do you know what I mean? Like
I
if
don't
she's
know."
looking for that and, but you're too far away. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
because she said that she used to be a glass artist, so I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah. Well,
You
I
can
mean,
be
you can tell looking at like at their real leaded, like,
mhm,
you know, windows. I mean, they're
yeah.
not stained glass, but they're real leaded glass.
Yeah, it's not a colored glass, it's a clear, but it's yeah, definitely nice
But
and
it's You know what I mean? Like it's that leaded around it, soldered or
Yeah.
whatever they do around the panes with the
Yeah.
pieces of glass. Those are
Yeah.
awesome.
I
Those would be
know.
cool on like on the side of your house, like, like framing your front door or
Oh, yeah.
kitchen cabinets or like a
Mhm.
pantry door or something.
They
They're
look
neat.
because of the piece of, the furniture the oak that it came out of, I think
Mhm.
it had to have been like hutches or no, it had to have been like kitchen
Oh,
cabinets because there were so many
like
of
a
them.
big kitchen, right? Like a
Mhm, like a
big
big kitchen.
pantry kitchen. Yeah.
So Matt changed the price and he put them on for 300. So
Nice.
we paid 15 for all of them. So if we are able to sell all of them, we will make over $2,000 off of these.
And did you only put up 2 for 300, right?
Yeah. I only have
I'd
2.
be like, if anybody, like, if somebody, wouldn't it be awesome if somebody's like, "Do you have more?"
Oh,
You know?
uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
Like
I
if they
took
wanted
2.
them all.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. But maybe they would like if these sold and they bought them and then we listed 2 more, they'd be like, "Oh, you have more." And then
Right.
maybe.
Yeah.
So, I'm
But
excited.
that's what I'm
So
saying, like, or, like, 'cause
mhm.
I think of like somebody who's redoing a house or contract, you know what I mean? Like somebody who's sourcing this kind of stuff, looking for
Yeah.
it. Yeah, and that's funny that that lady, that's nice of her. Like
I
sometimes you
know.
don't get weirdos, sometimes you get nice, helpful
Yeah.
people. She was probably like, "Wow, those are really nice.
Uh,
They need to sell them for more. That's awesome."
I know. And then when Matt told me that she messaged that, I instantly was like, I knew I should have trusted my gut and listed them
Went
higher. But I just
went
was
higher.
like, but I was super stoked. I hope they sell.
Yeah.
So Matt's like,
Heck
"Well,
yeah.
if they sell quick, then maybe we could ask more for the next ones and stuff like that." Because the 2 that
Yeah.
I pulled out to sell next, they don't have any cracks in the glass.
Okay. Right.
So, I don't know. So keep an eye out for leaded, glass,
Wow.
guys. It does
For
sell.
real.
And I put, like, keywords like architectural salvage
Mhm.
and,
Yes. Mhm.
etched, vintage, frosted, beveled. I put all of those
Mhm.
keywords in. I think those are the like, architectural salvage is, like, it. But, yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
that's a big one. That's
Sorry
awesome.
the story was so long, but that was just really
No,
exciting to
I love
find.
it. Those are
Mhm.
really pretty. It's like, I wish I had something that I could do something with, you know what I mean?
Same. I mean, I guess I could.
They also
Yeah.
wouldn't fit my house though. I don't know. They're
Mhm.
like almost too much for
They are
my
big, they're
little
huge.
house.
I went to the Goodwill and, I happened to be talking to one of the employees, and I don't know what it was she said something about we were talking about rounding up. She was like, "Oh, do you wanna round up?" And we were like, "No, not this time." That's always what we say, "Not this time." And I said, "Oh," I was kind of being, like, a little sassy, and she's like, "Do you wanna round up?" And I said, "No, not this time." I said, "Maybe if they bring back the punch card, where you get the collect the
Oh
stamps and
yeah,
you
your
get a discount."
deals, discount, yeah.
Yeah, and, she's like, "Oh, yeah, I know." She said, "I haven't been working here long. I've been working here since November," and she said, "They told us that they got rid of the punch cards because they were lowering the prices, and, they just raised the prices of the shoes." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I was gonna ask you, oh, this why when did the shoe prices change?" Because at least in my Goodwill, the shoes are 7.99 and boots were 8.99. Well,
Yeah, that sounds
now
like around here. That sounds
yeah.
like what it is here.
Well, now they're individually priced. They each have like a sticker on the bottom, and the pair of boots that we wanted to buy, or we did buy, they had a dot on the bottom, no price tag. And I was like, "How much are these boots?" They're not I see they're not 8.99 anymore. And she's like, "Yeah, they're a
Mhm.
dot." I forgot how much dots were. We just changed it yesterday.
Oh,
So I don't
geez.
know. She was just like, "Whatever, I'll give them to you for 8.99." Because
Oh.
the manager wasn't calling her back or something, answering the phone.
Oh, right.
So anyway, we started talking about that, and she's like, "Yeah, they've made all these changes." And she's like, "We used to, get bonuses every month. Like, if we hit our number" this is the part that I think is interesting. She said, "If we hit our numbers for the store for that month, we would get a bonus." I
Mhm.
don't know if it was like an employee bonus, like maybe just one person gets it, or if it was like a, like a competition style, or
Right.
was it a overall bonus, like every employee gets a bonus. I'm not sure. She
Yeah.
said, but they changed that bonus from monthly to quarterly. She said, so now,
Mhm.
it's, we're not getting it as often, which, okay, I get. But then that made me think, are these bonuses based on how much money your store is bringing in by rounding up? Like, oh, if you hit
Oh,
this
maybe.
quota, if you hit
Maybe.
this quota of roundups, then basically we give some of that back to you as the employees. In my little conspiracy theory mind, I'm like, that's what they're doing. They are paying their bonuses. Like our roundup is paying their bonuses because that's their mission. But what is their mission? To help employees and help people with employment. So bonuses
Right.
are employment. So are we rounding up for bonuses? But you know what? Matt was saying, you know what? If they were doing that, if they were having us round up to pay for bonuses, be transparent
Mhm.
about it. Because you know what? If I'm helping these individual people in the store, then I might round up because I know I'm kind of helping you get to a bonus. And they'd pay minimum wage, I'm assuming, or a
That's
little bit
true.
more.
I'd rather round up and it go to them than just to overall.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Goodwill in a while just
Hmm.
because there's been so many estate sales and everything.
Yeah.
I'm trying to the ones in Pennsylvania always ask to round up. I don't The last time I was here, I don't think I've ever been asked to round up here in Delaware.
Uh-huh.
I don't know that they ask.
Really?
So, I don't, who knows? I don't know what goes on, but I've
Yeah.
never been asked to round up here, just in the PA stores.
Yeah, it's without fail, every single time we check out. Like, we go to the
Oh yeah.
Goodwill all the time, like multiple times a
Yeah.
week, multiple stores a day.
Yeah.
Every single time without fail, it's like it's like been brainwashed to say it. Like, "Do you wanna
Yeah.
round up?
Mhm.
Do you wanna round up? Do
Yeah.
you wanna round up?" I don't know. That's my conspiracy theory. Let me put on my little tin hat. Could you imagine? I mean, that could be it. That could be it. I don't know. So, that's
I
just my
keep my
thought, and
pennies.
so yeah, I keep my pennies too, but I'm like, I remember the store that I went to, and I remember the employee that I was talking to, so I'm gonna try to see if I can get a little dish from her, you know?
Do you pay tax at Goodwill?
Yeah, I
I don't
do.
round up because I gotta pay tax up in Pennsylvania. We don't have
Yeah.
sales tax in Delaware, but some
Oh.
people say that Goodwill doesn't charge tax in some states, like that have a
Well,
sales tax, but they do it up in PA.
oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, I have it. It's on every one of my receipts that I'm paying taxes, you know? So,
Mhm.
I don't I don't know. So, I don't
I
know.
don't know.
And then what about that TikTok you sent me, Mo, or sent in our little, Flippin' Fantastic about the eBay listing? Oh, it's like a
Yeah,
little
I
delayed,
had
I
it up,
see.
but I shut it. It was somewhere in like 2002. Somebody sold a town. Like 8 people live in this town. Where was it? It was somewhere in California, right?
I think so. Oh, yeah, it was in California. Mhm. Yeah.
And they sold it for how much?
I think it was like 1.7 million. Like the
Yeah.
I think it started at like 10,000 or something like that.
Started at like 10,000 and it went up quick and sold for a
Mhm.
million. But it just it made me think of Schitt's Creek because he buys the town, you know.
Oh, 100%. I think that is cool to do that. It's like, what how do you I couldn't even imagine, the trolling bids. I'm like, "Yeah, I'll put in 10,000 to own a town. I'd be the sheriff, I'd be the mayor, I'd be the" Can you
Right?
imagine?
I
You own
know.
the town. You could just be the mayor. I'd
Do whatever
be
you want.
Beach by Repeat mayor. Yeah, I can't imagine all the logistics that go into buying a city on eBay for 1.7 million.
What a
Yeah,
nightmare.
I know. And not what a nightmare for sure. It was called Bridgeville,
Oh, that's right.
California. I just looked at it real
Yes.
quick. I know.
Yes.
Oh,
Because there's a Bridgeville, Delaware. Is there a Bridgeville in every state? I know there's a
I don't
Bridgeville,
know.
Delaware. There's a Bridgeville, definitely a Bridgeville, New Jersey.
Oh, no, I don't know. That doesn't sound familiar to me here. Bridgeville. I don't know. But so what about today? Oh, actually the day we're recording is Tax day. Taxes are due.
Hope you
And then
hope you send them in. Hope you get
yes.
a refund.
Yeah, get your refund in. And hopefully that will be the end of eBay's dead, basically. You know, maybe people will be like, okay, I'm getting my tax refund, and
I
then they're
hope
gonna
so.
start shopping again. They're gonna
I
start
hope
shopping
so.
again.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know. It's like I don't sell anything for, it's like dead for a couple days, and then I sell a few things, and then
Mhm.
sell a few things. I don't know.
I know. It's all over the place for
Mhm.
sure. So I did mine, and then I think in the end, like I owed federal, no, I owed state, and then I got a refund on federal, but like they literally count, what is the word? They literally
Cancel.
cancel each other out, and I'm getting a refund overall of $14.
That's the kind of thing. Yeah, but see, you didn't give the government a loan for a year, so you're good.
Oh
You know what I
yeah, but
mean?
I just think it's
Like
funny, you know.
Drew hates it. Well, he has to come in. He was finishing them the last couple days. We were busy this weekend, but he was like doing them, and he would come in and he's telling me stuff, and I'm like, whatever, whatever,
Uh-huh.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like I told you, if he goes before me, I got to get a guy. Because I don't care. I mean, I care, but I don't want to do it myself.
Do
And
you mean wait a minute.
it's
Do you mean a
going
tax
to.
guy? You mean a tax guy, right? I just like, you mean a new husband or a tax
No,
guy?
whichever. As long
Hopefully
as he
he's
does, as long as he does the taxes. No, one year,
uh,
it was like shortly. We bought this house not like 6 months after we were married, like less than that after we were married.
uh-huh.
But it was like a year or two after we were married. He was so excited, Amy, because we only owed the federal government like $2 that
Oh
year.
my gosh, that's
He
crazy.
was so excited. Now it
Yeah.
hasn't been that much. Like there was one year we had to pay quarterly because
Uh-huh.
he underestimated or whatever. So the next year they made us pay quarterly. I think it must have been when I was still working and he got
Uh-huh.
a raise or something. I don't know. And
Yeah.
then so this year we owed like $100 to federal. So he was
Uh,
happy about that because it's not that
yeah.
much. And it's like
Mhm.
people that get big refunds, stop giving the government a loan. Figure it out so you're not getting that big a refund. Honestly,
Right.
should be in your
Yeah.
pocket for the
Yeah,
year. You should
exactly.
be investing it or putting it,
Exactly. Exactly. I know. And today is also, is it today? Today is your quarterly. Is it your first, your second? Your
I don't,
second
I don't know.
quarterly? I don't know. I got to do that when
I
we're
don't
done
know.
recording. I got to pay my quarterly. It's just money after money. Money after money. It's okay though.
I
So,
can't wait until they get rid of it.
oh yeah, you think that's going to happen? Well, they're
I don't
talking.
know.
Oh yeah, that's a whole nother subject.
I mean, it's kind of a pipe dream. I mean, there's so much bureaucracy embroiled in paying
Hmm.
taxes. I don't expect it, but I like that we can talk about it.
Yeah. So technically, we all should have filed an extension for our taxes, so we didn't have to pay when it gets terminated. Just keep filing those extensions, guys. So if you didn't do it, if you didn't pay your taxes, file the extension. Oh my gosh. And with that, guys, we're flipping out. Bye.
Thanks so much for watching, and check out more of our videos right here. We're flipping out.